Hey guys, so today I'm going to be making a video on meal prep. I'm starting the night before. The real meal prep is going to happen tomorrow morning as I'm missing ingredients, but I thought I could start now. So what is meal prep? Meal prep is when you make a bunch of meals at once for the week so you can save time. Why should you meal prep? There's a good few reasons why you should, especially if you have a fitness goal. So if your goal is to gain weight, lose weight, or maintain if you have trouble maintaining, you're gonna wanna track your macros. The best way to track your macros is to make your own meals, right? If you know what's going into them, it's a lot easier to keep track of what you're eating. You know what's in every single lunch. You've measured it, you've weighed it, you've prepared it, you've made it yourself. Meal prep is really good for those of us with fitness goals, time constraints, if you have families, and also just trying to save money, right? Because if you're a student like me, if you don't have time the night before or you're too lazy and then you wake up late and then you have to get to school, you don't have time to make a lunch, then you end up eating out, and eating out gets expensive. Step number one, okay, before you even start meal prepping, there's a couple tools you need. You need containers. These I got off Amazon. They are separated. All you need to search is meal prep containers. It's not hard to find. Make sure that they're microwave safe, freezer safe, and dishwasher safe. And you need an electronic scale. Make sure that the scale isn't like in the hundreds of grams. Make sure it goes to at least like 5 kilograms, because this is the bread and butter of meal prepping, okay? If you don't weigh your stuff, you don't know how much you have. Step two is deciding what you want to eat. Personally, I really like Mexican food, and I find, Mexican food, like Tex-Mex food, like my version of Mexican food. I really like that kind of food because it's really easy to make. It's really easy to just mix everything together and it tastes great. And it's also really macro friendly because, you got your proteins, you got your carbs from the rice or beans or whatever, and you got veggies, your peppers, whatever, all that kind of stuff you can put in it. So personally, I really like Mexican. I often make meal preps of Mexican food, but you don't have to do that, right? It's up to you. You need to decide what you want to eat, okay? Because if you're gonna make lunches, for example, for a week, then you don't want to be eating something that after 2 days you're sick of it. Step number three is deciding how much do I need. I would suggest, honestly, starting with maybe meal prepping your lunches for like a few days. When I started, I did 7 days, so I'm gonna be talking about doing it for a week. But if you're a beginner and you just wanna test the waters, try it for 3-4 days. Personally, I'm not very picky. I'll make my lunches for a whole week. I don't get sick of them. Keep 2 in the fridge, 5 in the freezer. I rotate them so they thaw and stay fresh. But once you've decided how many days you're gonna be doing it for, you need to decide how much you need, according to your macros, or just to make sure you have enough. So you need to decide how much you need of everything, right? So this meal prep, there's gonna be 1.5 kilograms of chicken. There's gonna be about 2 onions. There's going to be however much spices I want. I don't really track the spices. There's going to be 1.8 kilos of rice, meaning that's about 3 cups of rice uncooked. And then I'm going to try to get as much peppers as I can. I'm going to try to get at least 1 kilogram of peppers, if not more. Step 4 is actually doing the meal prep. So I'm not doing the full meal prep tonight. I'm just preparing it so that tomorrow it's a little bit easier. But right now it's the night before and I'm just gonna prep. So to prep, I'm gonna cut up my onions and then I'm going to marinate my chicken. I usually don't do this, but I figure if I'm making this video tonight, I'm gonna see what it tastes like to marinate my chicken before, and I'm gonna use the spices. So I'll show you in the video what I'm doing. Hey guys, so just a quick tip before we start. Always make sure that you start with a fully clean kitchen, because you really don't want to start with dishes to do and dishes in the way. So make sure that all of your dishes are done and out of the way so that you can follow up with tip number 2, which is to always make sure that you are cleaning up as you're cooking, right? So after I cut all the peppers, what I'm gonna do is when I have them cooking on the stove, I'm gonna clean them up out of the sink, throw them away. I'm gonna clean up the cooking board and the knife so that everything is out of the way, right? I'm not gonna wait till the end of cooking everything before I decide to start cleaning everything, because it's gonna be a huge drag and it's gonna take a lot more time. So if you wanna save time, clean as you cook. Hey guys, so I'm ready to start the meal prep. So what I'm going to be doing is, first I'm going to cut up the peppers I got this morning. I don't actually know how much it weighs, but I'll weigh it in a second for the macros. And then what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to cook the peppers with some of the onions that I cut up yesterday. And then I'm going to make the rice at the same time. I'm going to make the peppers in this wok here. And then I'm going to cook the chicken that I prepped yesterday in the wok with the juices from the peppers already. What's going to happen is I have this big bowl here. Okay, what I'm going to do with it is I'm going to put all the rice that I've cooked into the bowl. I'm going to weigh out the rice so that way I know how much I have. Then I'm going to add all the peppers in, and then I'm going to add all the chicken in. I'm going to mix everything together in the bowl, and that way I can portion it out into my 7 lunches, and I don't really need to worry about how much is in each lunch. So this is a great tip for saving time. It doesn't really matter if there's, say, one day I have 150 grams of chicken, the next day I have 200 grams. It doesn't matter, because by the end of the week, I'll have had everything that I made. Now what we're gonna do is we're going to cut up the peppers and cook them, and at the same time, I'm going to prepare the rice. Okay guys, so now the prep is done. All that's left to do is to calculate the macros as well as put all the food away. You've seen just before that I mixed all the food together in the big bowl. So now I'm just gonna put it in my 7 different containers, and that'll be everything. Because if I have all of the food in all the containers, that's all the food that I cooked, so it doesn't matter. I don't need to weigh out the rice, the chicken, the peppers anymore. I know how much is in total, so if I average it out of the week, I know I got about the same amount every day. And if you have any questions, just let me know below. And if you liked it, leave a like, press subscribe, and that's it.